All right, listen up. If you are even considering creating, starting, running, managing, or growing an online digital product sales business, do not do it until you watch this video. What I've got in my hand right now is actually a notebook that I have been keeping notes in for the past 5 years as I have built my digital product businesses. This is now my second in the last 2 years that has done over 7 figures. When something important happens, something that I notice, I write it in this notebook. And you guys can see I've got these great tabs. In this video, I'm going to share 7 of the most important things that you need to know about your digital product business before you get started, if you want to be profitable, if you want to be able to scale, and if you want to overcome some of the likely obstacles that are going to be in your way as you get started. So hang with me, we're going to cover all of them, and then you will be ready to start a profitable digital product business. Let's get into it. So the first thing that I want you to do is I want to talk about the product, and I want you to think about these 4 questions. And I try to ask myself this every time I go about building a digital product. When I'm trying to describe it, I want to know if it's one of these 4, hopefully all of these 4. Is it useful? Ask that simple question. Is it useful? Is this something that people need? Is it urgent? That's a big one, because when you're selling online, you want people to feel like it's urgent that they get access. They should get access now. Why should they? Because it can change their life. If you're selling something and you don't believe that it's going to change the life of the person who reads it, buys it, goes through that program, that's going to come across in your sales video. People are going to go, I'll put it off. I'll do it later. Is it unique? This is a really good one, because a lot of times you'll go, you're trying to build a digital product and you think to yourself, what did so-and-so do? What did so-and-so do? And the next thing you know, you look back and you created what they created, and it's not unique anymore. You got to try to figure out, what about my thing is different than all of the other things? Can I name it cool? You ever bought a product and you go, that's a really cool naming mechanism they used? Well, that's on purpose to make it sound more unique. And is it ultra specific? For me, I love it when I hear somebody say, I'm gonna help teachers. I just had a call with one of our members in Syndicate today who wants to help teachers with a very specific thing that we have a bunch of other people who help other people with that same thing, but he's going specifically after teachers. It's gonna be easier for him to succeed, easier to target, much better to know who he's talking to. So number 1, always ask yourself, is it useful? Is it urgent? Is it unique? And is it ultra specific? Number 2, when you're creating your digital product, I want you to use this 6-step framework to build your entire business. This might be the most important part. Maybe I should make this number 8. But this 6-step framework is what I use to build all of my digital products. You can go step by step. Don't skip one. Step number 1, come up with your idea. Ask yourself those 4 questions that we just mentioned before, but I want you to come up with your idea. What are you gonna sell? What's it gonna be? What's useful? What's unique? How are you gonna package it? Think about who you're selling to. Number 2, I want you to get very clear on your avatar. So exactly who am I selling to, and what's that transformation for them look like? I don't want to know 35-year-old women in Ohio. I want to know mom who struggles with brain fog, who can't get through the day. At 2 o'clock, she feels exhausted. If she goes to this program, she's going to feel alive again. She's not going to have the 2 p.m. crash. She's going to have, more patience for her kid. You're painting the picture of the person that they want to be anyways. As long as you can deliver that, now you're clear on the avatar, because you know who the first person is. The person that they don't want to be, you have to know who that is. So you want to know who your avatar is. Phase 3 is build the automated pitch process. Guys, we're on the internet. Everything is automated for the most part. That's the beauty of running a digital product business. You're gonna have a sales page that can take sales 24 hours a day, that can get order bumps to double your order value 24 hours a day, that can deliver upsells, that can deliver membership access, they text message, email. It's all automated. So 24 hours a day, you can be accepting new sales, which is amazing. So you build that automated pitch process. A lot of people get lost in the weeds here. It's not that complicated. Start with an MVP, launch it, then make it better. Every day, ask yourself for 10 minutes, what else could I do today? 10 more minutes, boom, I'll make this one email. One example that I give everybody is people think they need to start with like a 10-day email sequence. Start with a 1-day email sequence, because nobody's in it. Then tomorrow, write day 2. Then the next day, write day 3. And the next day, write day 4. Now, every day you're doing 1 email. Every day you're doing a little thing instead of trying to do 10 days all at once. You come in with a fresh mind. It will absolutely help you. Once you have your automated pitch process, then we go to getting your first 50 sales. Because let's face it, what you do to get your first 50 sales is not what you're gonna do to get your 5,000th sale. I like to go with ads. I'm a big fan of putting my money up. I like speed. There's no better way to test my offer and to get 50 sales and to put money up and start driving sales to the offer and see, does it make money? Now, During that process, you're actually gonna kind of mold into what I call step or phase 5, which is optimization. As you get to 50 sales, you're gonna realize my offer, my upsells were broken. The membership area emails were getting lost in spam, so I had to figure that out. The membership area video thumbnail for video 3 was missing. The link in module 7 was missing. Let people go through your imperfect product. Don't spend a year trying to make it perfect. Let them go through the imperfect product. They're gonna message your support or email you and say, hey, where's the thumbnail for video 4? I'll go fix it. 10 seconds later, it's fixed for everybody. That's the way that I roll things out. I like to kind of move fast and break things. So you're gonna be optimizing as you're getting those first 50 sales, and that's super important. Ladies, this one's incredibly important for you because you're perfectionists most of the time. Guys, we're dumb. We're cavemen. We run to the edge of the cliff and run right off the edge of that cliff, and we'll figure out how to land on our way. Women get to the edge of the cliff and go, okay, so if I jump, what's the bottom look like? What's my body position gotta be to get in the water? Guys, again, caveman. Ugh. Just bang your head against the wall, figure it out. So ladies, you have to optimize after. Don't optimize before because you don't have any data. I want you to get data for your funnel. Membership area, sales funnel, all of that comes in your first 50 sales. You'll get some really cool data. Hey, people are opting in, but they're not buying. Okay, we gotta fix that. People are watching my video, but doing this. They're doing that. They're not buying my upsell. Okay, so we can fix these things, but it's gonna take you 50 to 100 sales to get that going. So now we've optimized. This is where things get fun. The last stage, stage 6, is scale. We scale in 3 ways. We scale with ad spend. That one's obvious. Spend more money or increase your fuel source. So if you have an offer and you're getting sales through influencers or through organic content, well, now I got to make more organic content so we can scale the content out because now we're making money. I can pay more for content. I can pay more for shout outs. If you're using SEO, well, now you got to rank for more keywords. If you're using affiliates, get more affiliates, get more of them to promote for you. If you're using ads, which is what I do, spend more money on ads. Whatever your fuel source is that you're fueling your offer with, now we do more of it because now we're optimized, the offer works, it's all ready to go. Then we also scale out our automations. As you're starting to get 100 customers a day, 200 customers a day, maybe 300 customers a day, you need to have automations doing a lot of the heavy lifting for you. So responding to people right now is a great time with this because AI can do support for you, can answer your emails. You can literally have AI manage your Gmail inbox. So if somebody issues a support ticket to your Gmail, it will respond for you immediately, giving them a solution to their problem. So these are all things that you like to scale out, but don't do that email automation with AI before you have 50 sales. So many people that I talk to, they don't even have an offer and they're trying to optimize their Gmail so that it's AI, so it'll respond to everybody. Like, that's crazy. You don't have anybody issuing a ticket yet. Don't optimize that yet. So the last way we scale is with team. Probably the most important thing you're gonna do is as you start generating sales and you start generating more back-end revenue, you want more team. You want team to handle your customers. You want team to onboard your customers. You want team to make sure that your customers are actually staying happy, that they're taking action, and that the customers that come into your back-end stuff are well supported, but also that your customers that are coming into your front-end stuff are well supported. Now that you're making a little bit more money, you can actually support the lower end of the program too, which is one of the great reasons that I love selling low ticket is it helps fund the support of that product itself. So if you use that 6-step framework, there is a much higher likelihood that you're actually gonna get a result. All right, third, let's talk about the reasons that people are gonna say no, because when you start making your offer, people are gonna say no. It's inevitable. My offer right now that makes me over $10,000 a day, 98% of people that go to my page say no. They say no at first. Now the courtship starts. I call it retargeting. But we gotta know why people are saying no. Because if we know why people are saying no, when we make our offer, we can make offers that help them say yes. We can instantly rebut what is going to make them say no. So 5 reasons they're gonna say no. No need. The sales page should give them a need for this. And one of the ways that we do that is we make sure that they know what we call the symptom to solution gap. Their symptom is actually solved by my thing. They gotta know that the symptom is actually caused by the thing that you cure. Most often people aren't doing that. They're saying, oh, I have a gut health offer. If you want a healthy gut, well, they don't know that their brain fog, depression, and fatigue are coming from gut health. You have to educate them on that. So to create need, educate them on their real problem, show them that your solution solves that problem. Now you've just created a new bad guy, but you also end the bad guy with your product. So it's huge. That's how you create need. Next, no hurry. This is a tough one. On your sales page, you want to give people a reason to buy. Now, my offer is evergreen. I never take it down, which means what's the hurry? I could buy it tomorrow. I like to position the opportunity cost against why they should buy right now. So if you buy right now, within 24 hours, look at what you could be doing. And I want you to ask yourself, you and I both know 24 hours is going to go by fast. Do you have 1 hour in the next 24 hours to work on this? Because if you do, you'll have your first digital product. But 24 hours is going to go by. I want you to imagine 24 hours from now, you know it's going to go by. You didn't take action. And I want you to think, would your life be better if you had a product? Would your life be better if you had a VSL? Take action now. I'm not telling them I'm going to take it away. I'm not false scarcity. I'm not telling them, oh, if you don't get action now, you're going to miss all the bonuses, because that's a lie. I see people doing it all the time. Don't lie. It's bad for you. Next, no desire. Desire is a little different, right? When somebody needs something, it's not the same as wanting something. So on our sales page, we want to make it seem like it's fun. We want to make it seem like it's powerful. We want to make it seem like you should want this. You should lust over this product. You want to make them desire it. So make it sound cool. Make it sound fun. The ways that you do that would be the same way that you would do that with anything. If you want somebody to want something, make it sound attractive. Fourth, no trust. So that's why we call it a trust funnel, because one of the big reasons and one of the hardest things to solve is that people aren't going to buy from you if they don't trust that, hey, this $297 is going to get me value, right? If they trusted that it would, they'd buy from you. If you trusted that, giving me $1,000 was going to make you 3 feet taller, and that's what you really wanted, was to be 3 feet taller, you would give me $1,000, no problem, right? So when people want something, if they trust that your thing will get them the result, they will give you the money for it. So what we've got to do is we've got to implement what I call trust attributes into our funnel. So the type of funnel you run, that's super important. That's why we call it a trust funnel. Type of funnel you run matters. The objects on your sales page that create trust matter. Your VSL, your headline, your testimonials, your hero's journey section, your product stack. These are all things that have trust elements in them. And lastly, the fifth thing that people are going to use to say no, and this is a tough one to overcome if you're selling high ticket, is no money. This is a hard one. Somebody comes to you and says, I really want this, I just don't have the money. I love it, I get the benefit of it, I just don't have the money. Sell your information for low ticket. Everybody who doesn't have money can still afford that. The people who do have money will escalate into your high ticket anyways. That's why we do the trust funnel. Now everybody trusts you whether they have no money now or not. The beautiful thing is some of those people that don't have money now, they have money in a year. They have money in 6 months. Now who do they trust? Who are they likely to give that money to? Because you gave them a benefit for low ticket. So if you can overcome these 5 objections, these are the only 5 reasons people say no, you're gonna get more yeses, which means your offer is gonna get more sales. And that's what we want. All right, next up, fourth, when you decide to actually put that offer out, you're gonna use the 4 pillars of a profitable promotion. Don't say it that way because it's really hard to say that many P words in a row. We're gonna start this, we do 4 stages. So I want you to think about this logically from a buyer's mind. So if I release a product right now, I put it out into the world and I say, all right, I put all this work in, I've been working on it for weeks, I didn't tell anybody about it, and all of a sudden I just release it, guess what's gonna happen? Crickets, right? The old, if you build it, they will come. BS, dude. Doesn't happen. If you build it, they won't come, especially if they don't know about it. I don't care what you built. They ain't coming if they don't know about it. One of the biggest travesties that I see happening in the industry, you work your tail off for weeks maybe, building a great product, building a great sales page, getting a VSL, doing all this stuff, and you've told nobody. You've missed opportunity number 1 to get sales. I think about 20% of your sales will come from this, depending on the funnel that you use, and I call this the lead-in. The lead-in is just an opportunity for you to tell people something's coming, right? Think about every party you've ever been to. Somebody sends you an RSVP. Why do they do that? Because imagine hosting a party, not telling anybody, and then calling everybody when the party starts and going, are you showing up? They're gonna be like, what are you talking about? So now you have a party and nobody's there. The way that you get people to pay attention to you is tell them something's coming. Remind them that something is coming. We call that the lead-in. I don't care if it's a webinar, I don't care if it's a live event, I don't care if it's a digital product. Whatever it is, go on social media and tell people you're working on it. Maybe you finished module 6 today. Go on social media, talk about module 6. Let them know it's coming. We just filmed a VSL day here in Tampa with our syndicate members, and I took little videos of everybody as they were filming their VSL. Now, one of them is a CPA. She helps people save money on taxes. She's not gonna go on social media and flaunt, look at me building a VSL. No, what she can do though is take that footage and put little words on there that says something big is coming. And it looks like something big is coming. So now when she starts to announce it, people know. And she can also do some stories on what is coming, what's big, all this. So next, we've got main event. The main event itself is the actual thing. It's the party. You gotta make sure that you're ready for the party. Make sure your offer's good. Main event is usually handled by what you're already doing. So you're already gonna manage that part of the process. But main event is, let's just make sure we have a good offer. Let's make sure our product is good. When we promote the thing, hey, it's live, it's ready to go, we're gonna get some sales because we did the lead in. If you have the main event with no lead in, less sales. Next, super important sections. I think the main event is usually 50% of your revenue. So lead in, let's say it's maybe 10, 15% of your revenue. Next, replay. Now, again, let's say it's not a live event. It's an evergreen launch. I see this all the time, and people in the music industry talk about this. If you're in the music industry and you drop a song and you go on Instagram and you post it in your stories one time, and then a month goes by and you've never talked about it again, and you go, why aren't people listening to my music? Well, it's because you only talked about it one freaking time. Well, yeah, but I talked about it here, I talked about it there. Oh, so you assume everybody is doing nothing but listening to what you say all day long. All of your followers are just, waiting on bated breath for you to post. No, look at your feed. You make a post, 92% of your audience doesn't see it. The average reach on Instagram is 8%. That's just reaching them. That's not actually getting them to comprehend what they're seeing. So now 92% of your audience doesn't see that you just had a live event. 8% of them do. So now we've got to hit the replay hard. Hitting the replay is like, hey, I dropped this music and talk about it every day until there's no excuse for people not to know about it. Unapologetically, you got to want yourself to win. And I think one of the big problems that most people have is like they'll build an offer in some niche and they're like, oh, I don't know. And Aunt Susie might see my post. Who cares, dude? Maybe Aunt Susie needs a gut health offer. Maybe she needs something to clear her facial, skin care routine up or whatever. Maybe they want that. Stop assuming that people don't want what you have. Lastly, and I think this is going to be responsible for like 20 to 25% of your sales, but most people don't do this. You got to close the offer out. Whatever your event is, if you're launching it, do a launch price. I tell everybody who's launching low ticket, you can start your low ticket at 50% off, right? You can go 27 normally, but 13.50 today. You can do that. 13.50 for the first 50 users. And then when you get to 40, email everybody guys, there's only 10 more spots. And then the price goes up. And then when the price goes up, it goes up. But now you had one excuse to do a little micro, hey, little FOMO, but don't miss out on this price. Close out the offer. There's a couple of ways you can do that. You can increase price or you can remove something from the product. So let's say for the first 50 people, it's still 27 bucks, but if you join now, I'm going to give you my special 2.5-hour VSL training only for the first 50. Then number 51, you don't get VSL training anymore. There's ethical, logical ways to increase scarcity where you close out the offer, but the offer remains up in some capacity. So if you use those 4 pillars, there's a really good chance that you're going to have a much more profitable promo because now people know what's coming. You launch that thing, you constantly talk about it, and then you close that out when it's done. So that's number 4. And number 5, this is a good one. So we talked about why people don't buy, but I wanted to also talk about the 3 reasons that they do. And this one's a super important one. So I like to remind myself of this. That's why I wrote it down. 3 reasons that people buy. Number 1, logic. I myself identify as a logic buyer. Oh, that makes sense. This thing is broken. I have to buy that to fix it. Yep, that makes sense. I don't do a lot of purchasing through emotion. Now, I will tell you, I've seen this through my career after hundreds of thousands of sales. Women typically are going to be buying on more of an emotional basis. Men on more of a logical basis. Keep that in mind. If you are selling directly to men, I would focus a little bit more on logic, but you still want emotion. For me, I want every one of my promos to have a mix of all 3 of the reasons that people say yes, which I'll cover here now. But number 1 is logic. How do we get logic? What does logic mean? I like to use stats, statistics, logic, proof, fact, deal. Like, make it easy to understand. Like, for me, logic, if I said 56% of people that do this, get this, 98% of people that do this are gonna see this result. That's logic. Oh, then logically, yes, I should do that. That makes sense. I will do that, right? Make it an easy decision. Next, emotion. Ladies, usually more emotion. Men, usually more logic. That's probably typical and not rocket science to anybody watching this. But I will say, plenty of women have bought my program for logical reasons. They've told me, hey, I saw that thing that you had, that little stat that just made so much sense. So I'm not saying it's one or the other, but if you are more focused on one of them, you should know a majority of your audience is gonna buy one way typically. How do we get emotion? Stories. That's why I just think, why not have all of this on all of your sales pages, on all of your marketing material? I like using this in emails. I will send an email that's statistic based, realizing that I'm gonna get logical buyers. I will send another email that's a story, realizing I'll get emotional buyers. Tell a story of a time you overcame something. Tell a story, I call it like a plan B story. Tell a story about a time that you went out trying to do something and then that thing didn't work, so you had to go with plan B, but plan B ended up working out really good. So it's nice to sometimes have a backup plan. And then you say, if you want a backup plan for this, maybe building your digital product didn't work out the way that you wanted to the first time, try plan B, here it is here, right? You can kind of mix that in. Logic, stats, emotion, story, tell your story. Lastly, scarcity. Scarcity is a very, very powerful motivator. This is male or female, very equally motivating. We want to increase some FOMO here. Scarcity. Give people a reason to like take action now. It doesn't have to be logic, doesn't have to be emotion anymore. Now it's like, look, that thing that you want, it's gone after this. Don't miss out. because it's gone. If you can do those three things, and I like doing these in emails. Some of my emails are logic, some of my emails are stories, and then I close that sucker out. Those are basically all the emails that I send, so it's pretty simple. I will tell you this one little warning. You tend to default into the selling mechanism that you yourself buy from. So just be aware of that, because I know for me as a marketer, I tend to send logical emails way more than emotional, because that's just the way that I think. You do have to like kind of overcorrect a little bit and go, hey, I probably need some more story stuff in here. If you use those three techniques, you will get more sales. The more I'm going through this notebook, the more I'm realizing I should probably charge for this video. So if you're watching this video, share it, save it, because I literally might take it down and put it in a membership area at some point, because this is like the most succinct I've ever covered all of this information. And the more I'm going through this notebook, the more I'm realizing I need to read this more often. I need to be reminded of this stuff. Just do me a favor, at least subscribe if you're not already, but make sure you hit that like button, because now I'm gonna give you the key to all of this, I think, which is what I call the value equation. And the value equation is what's gonna help you make products that have value. You and I can both agree, if you have something of value, people will give you money for it. So how do we create value? What creates value? And we're not talking about art, which is like a perceived level of value, like, oh, the beauty's in the beholder. No, the eye of the beholder. No, this is digitally, online, product-based, how do we create value? So I want you to think about it like this. There's three things that we can do that are gonna increase the value of our product or the thing that we're gonna create. Number one, increase the likelihood that somebody gets to the destination they want to go. Super simple, right? So a game plan, a playbook, some sort of a like, hey, I did what you did. This is going to increase the odds that you can do it too. That's what most digital products are, is simply they just lock in that one thing. Like, hey, if you want to create an agency, buy my playbook and I'll show you how I created my agency. That is exactly what that's doing. At its core, we're creating value if we increase the odds of somebody getting to where they want to go, whatever their outcome is. Now, these next two are the secret, okay? These next two are like the thing that separates hyper successful offers from like mediocre offers. And that is number one, time delay. Can we minimize the amount of time it takes to get the result? Think about this. If I'm trying to go from here to 2 miles away, little value for me is a bike. Why? Because I got to put in a lot of effort and it's going to take me a decent amount of time, okay? Well, it's only 2 miles. It's not that much effort, I guess. But you get the gist, like a bike isn't as much value, or walking, or shoes, right? Shoes have a little bit of value, but a bike has a little bit more value to me because I'm gonna get there faster and with less effort than walking. Hear me out. Now somebody drives by in a car, says, hey, do you want me to take you there? That has more value to me. I would pay more money because it's gonna get me there faster and with less effort. So I want you to think, what can I do in my digital product business that's gonna help somebody not only just get the result that they want, but it's gonna decrease the amount of time it takes them to get that result? How can I speed up their journey? And make sure you talk about that on the sales page. Make sure you mention, this is gonna take you so much less time than what you think or what everybody else says, or we can do it in half the time. Make sure they know it doesn't take a lot of time, because that's one of the reasons people are gonna kind of sit back and not really shop and buy, is because maybe they know your solution is awesome, but they think that the solution to their problem is gonna take a lot of time and it's gonna take a lot of effort. If we can impress upon them that it's not gonna be those two things, we can get them to buy. So again, we've got, can you get them to the destination they wanna go? So increasing the likelihood that they get the result they want, decreasing the time it takes them to get that result, and then the third thing, decreasing the amount of effort it takes them to get that result. If you can do that, you have value. So how do we do that? Well, digitally, we can give people PDFs, we can give people guides, we can give people training videos. That's what we're trying to do, is say, look, I just wanna make those three things happen. I wanna decrease time, decrease effort, increase likelihood of success. That is what creates value. And if I can do that, people will likely pay more. Now, what's great is there's a sliding scale to that. So let's say for $27, you give them all the information that does that, but then for $97 as OTO1, you give them templates and scripts and AI and prompts, things that speed this process up. Well, now you just gave them an even faster way, right? You went from here's the bike to here's the car. Then the final upsell, if you wanna work with me, we can get this done not just better, so I'm increasing the likelihood of your result, but I'm also gonna do it faster and with less effort from you because we're gonna build it. And now you just gave them the train instead of the car. And so that's kind of the idea, is like, what's the fastest way we could escalate somebody? So if you wanna create something online that has value, that people are willing to give you money for, all you gotta do is figure out, how can I increase the odds they get what they want? How can I decrease the amount of time it's gonna take them to get that? And how can I decrease the the amount of effort that they're gonna get? Or can I do one or more of these at least in my digital product? All right, so this is gonna be a very, very good one, and it's gonna change the way that you look at the way that you go about marketing. And I call it the 56, 40, and 3 rule. Take out your notebook because you're gonna notice that math doesn't add up. 56 and 40 and 3 is 99. We'll get to the 1, but you gotta wait till the end. So 56 and 40 and 3, what it does is it represents where your audience is in their buying decision-making process so that you can understand how your marketing should appeal to them. So I wanna give you an example. We're gonna describe the 56, the 40, and the 3. I'm gonna give you the light version. I'm gonna give you an example and then go more in depth. 56% of your audience right now will not buy from you no matter what you do. It doesn't matter how cheap it is, doesn't matter how discounted it is, it does not matter, they will not buy from you. I'll give you an example to prove that's true. 40% of your audience is likely to buy from somebody very soon, but they're not quite in the buying mode. They're not actively shopping. We'll come back to an example. And 3% is going to buy right now. They're actively shopping. They're looking for it. They're gonna buy from somebody. Most people who are watching this video are only advertising to the 3%. Your ads only make sense to people who are in the mode to buy right now. I'm gonna show you how to capture that 40%. We're gonna talk about this. Now, that 1% is always moving from one category to the next. So I want you to realize that 1% is always fluxing from 56 to 40, from 40 to 3. So let's go through an example. Travis, how could you say 56% of my audience will never buy from me? You sell yoga pants, right? You sell yoga pants. You run an ad on Facebook that says, Facebook, show my ad to anybody who likes yoga pants. Your ad shows up in Cindy's feed. Cindy pulls up her phone. Cindy just bought 30 pairs of yoga pants from Lululemon yesterday. So Facebook identified her as a buyer in your market. They showed your ad to her. She says, I don't care if you gave me yoga pants. I got 30 pair. I wouldn't even wear these. I'm not interested in your thing at all. There's a million different reasons that people are gonna be in the 56%. Let's say you sell slippers. This actually happened to me. For a long period of time, I was getting ads for slippers, and I'm like, I'm not a slippers guy. I don't do slippers, right? My life had not taken me to a slippers thing. Then I got a house with my wife. My wife said, you gotta take your shoes off when you walk in the door. Well, now I don't wanna walk around on a bare floor, so now I'm a slippers guy. So the next ad I saw for slippers hooked me, and I was in. But had you run an ad to me before I had a life event that changed my perception on buying that thing, I was never gonna buy slippers. Now I get a wife who tells me I gotta take my shoes off, I'm a slippers guy. So just like that, I went from 56 to 40, was really interested in them then, kind of shopping around for them, was gonna get them soon. Then I had a day where my feet really hurt, went online, bought slippers, 3%. So you can see how it kind of cascades its way down. From a marketer's perspective, we have to understand this. We have to understand that we need to be there to help usher people from zone to zone. So right now, 3% of people are gonna buy whatever it is that you're selling from somebody else, right? We've got a good offer. We've covered all the reasons they're gonna say no. We've covered all the reasons they're gonna say yes. We've got email, we've got retargeting, all of that's in place. Well, you need to be there all the time and marketing to that 40% that is currently about to buy, right? So Susie, who had 30 pairs of leggings, her favorite pair just ripped, right? So she's like, oh no, can I survive with the other ones? She's not quite shopping yet, but she's like, can I survive with the other ones? Days go by, she's like, I just hate all the other ones. Then she comes into 3%. Now here's the thing, the 40% is actually made up of the people that have no desire, the people that have no money, no hurry, no trust, and no need. So all we're doing really is marketing to those things, letting them know that they have the need, educating them, all of this, so that when they do come down into the 3%, we're there for them. That's one of the big keys is like, people are always fluxing from 40 to 3. If you're not running ads, somebody else is, and they're taking the customer that you've educated, you've made them want the thing that you're selling, but you're not running ads. So somebody else, Facebook goes, this person's ready to buy, shows their ad, they buy from them. So you lose money. It just doesn't make any sense. So as you're going about thinking about your marketing, I want you to think 56, 40, and 3. How do I appeal to the 40%? How can I market to the people that don't need my thing yet, that are close? And I want you to think of those scenarios. Like, where have you been in your life where you absolutely were never gonna buy a thing, and then you're like, well, I kind of like that thing, and then you were like, I'm definitely buying that thing. That can absolutely happen. And another example that happened for me was a year ago, I didn't own a house, right? So we remodeled this house. I didn't have a house. I was getting ads for refrigerators. Well, I didn't have a house. I'm not gonna be buying one. But then I knew I was getting ready to move into a house, so I started looking at refrigerators. And then it was time for me to actually buy one, so I shopped and I bought one. So that's how the buying process works. At any given time, you're moving from 56 to 40, 40 to 3, or now you buy from me. Guess what? what? You move back up to the 56. You're not buying from anybody else for a while because you've got that need fulfilled. So that's how you kind of want to look and think about your marketing is like, okay, how do I play to the people who are about to be buying soon? I want to make sure I'm there. I want to educate them on the ideas of my product. So when they have to make a decision, what product do I want to buy? I want them to think about mine. So come up with different ways to talk about your product so that as they move into the shopping mode, they're ready for you. Now in this one, I want to back up a little bit and I actually want to share some ideas with you about where you can figure out what to create. I know I get a lot of people who are asking me, Travis, what exactly should I create? I want to give you 5 ideas right now that you can use to go figure out what you should create. And I want you to listen closely and I want you to write these down because I'm also going to give you percentages. This is based off Fortune 500 companies that you know, like Facebook, like Grubhub, like Netflix, you name it, Google, for instance. They all were created using one of these 5. So I'm going to cover these with you real quick. Number 1, actually, we're going to save the most popular one till the end. Number 5, brainstorm with friends. Now this one's a really important one. The only note that I'm going to give you guys here is if you are brainstorming with friends that are not entrepreneurial, they're going to kill your ideas. Don't do that. You have to brainstorm with people who are big thinkers, who are outside the box, who do things a little differently. Don't brainstorm your big idea with somebody who will never accept it as a good idea. Doesn't make any sense. Get better friends. Number 4, pay attention to paradigm shifts in the market. This is a really interesting one. So right now, AI is a huge paradigm shift happening in the market. What product could you create there? Paying attention to AI, paying attention to crypto. What ecosystems are going to be evolving from that? I want you to think about that kind of stuff. Spend a little bit of time going, okay, AI, what can I do with AI? What if I tried with AI? Who could I help with AI? Well, now all of a sudden you got something. Number 3, pay attention to what's already working. I love this. You can actually go out and you can go, okay, hey, QuickBooks is making a lot of money. They're an accounting software. What if I created an accounting software for dog walkers? It's already working. Accounting software already works. I've got a video editing platform specifically for farm creators. I don't know, like something very specific, but you take what's already working, you adjust it very slightly to match one specific market. So today I had a call with somebody who's in the teaching space. He's gonna be teaching teachers how to validate their business idea, basically. He could do that in a bigger niche, but when you go specific, you look at what's already working. Oh, offer validation is already over here. I'm gonna offer validation specifically for these people. It's a really good market. 18% of Fortune 500 companies from this survey started by paying attention to what already is working and just kind of cutting down. Now, 20% of the people from this survey, Fortune 500 CEOs, started by paying attention to your curiosities. This one's very important. If you're of the right mindset, you're probably curious about a lot of things. You see something and you go, man, I wonder how they make money with that. Man, I wonder how that's built. Man, I wonder what could happen here. What if we took this and did that? Google was founded using that very principle. Google was founded because 2 developers go, hey, I wonder what would happen if we scraped every site on the internet and created an index, right? It wasn't based off of paradigm shifts. They didn't exist yet. They weren't brainstorming with friends necessarily. They were paying attention to their own curiosities. Now, the most important, 30% of the big Fortune 500 companies that make a lot of money, billions of dollars, were started with this idea. Pay attention to your own problems. One of my favorite stories is the story of Snapchat. Snapchat was created in such a funny way. It was 2 guys in a college dorm. Yes, they're super smart guys. One of the guys wanted to be able to send lewd pictures of himself to girls. He wanted to be able to send these pics to girls. He wanted them to be able to send pics back. What he didn't want was for them to be able to save it. They didn't want those pictures to live online forever. So literally, this is the story that I heard. He was smoking weed in his dorm room, went to his buddy who was a developer and was like, dude, we need to make this app that allows us to send these lewd pictures to girls in a way that they can't screenshot them and hold it against us for the future. So they created Snapchat, which was disappearing messages. And that was the beginning of Snapchat, which is absolutely hilarious because you're all thinking like, oh, all these big, huge billion-dollar companies founded by these stuffy guys in suits or these super creative kids. It's like 2 kids that were high in a dorm room trying to send naked pictures of themselves to women. Like, let's be real. Sometimes the best ideas are just looking at the problem that you have right now and figuring out what it has to happen for me to solve this. If you can do one of those 5 things and just kind of turn that on in your mind, look at the problems that you already have and solve them, curiosities that you have right now, what's already working, paradigm shifts, and brainstorm with friends. If you can do that, you can absolutely create a product that has great success for you and could be as big, if not bigger, than you've ever imagined. All right, and lastly, I'm gonna end it with this, guys. If you are thinking about creating a digital product, you're thinking about creating a digital, sales program of some kind, these are the things that I note for myself to do before I start any of that. And I just wanted to share some of those with you. So number 1, be unique. Don't be afraid to have a voice and an opinion different than anyone else. This is why you will make money. Whether that's standing out more in your ads, standing out more in your content, or just having an offer that helps people in a different way. Be unique and allow yourself to have a voice. Don't be afraid of that. Standing up is how you actually stand out. So that's gonna be super important. Next, provide value anytime you can because it will pay off 100-fold. I don't care if it's free value in the form of YouTube videos, shorts, reels, you name it. Selling a book, selling a low ticket program, provide as much value as you can. It's gonna get people around you that you wanna be around, that value your information. It's gonna make you feel better. It's gonna validate you. It pays off 100-fold if you do that. Next, make sure you're creating an email list that people actually like being on. Whether it's a buyer's list or an opt-in list, when you send content out, try to be personable. That's why I don't ever like having anybody manage my email list because it's not me. And then all of a sudden it's like they're not actually getting emails from Travis. If they like them, they don't actually like me. So I like, hey, put some personality in your emails so that you're actually communicating people with the same way that you would on social media. Next, don't overcomplicate things. I just shared a lot of stuff in this video. Travis, that could be somewhat overwhelming. I totally get that. You're not gonna get all of it right. If you can take any of this stuff and apply it to your business, your offer, your product, great. Keep it as simple as possible. And I always tell everybody, launch your MVP, your minimum viable product. What is the least amount that I've got to do to see if this is gonna work? I can always make it better. Do not wait weeks for branding pictures and this perfect logo and the members area with all the thumbnails and the 10-day email sequence and the AI bot that automatically responds to your emails. That's crazy. Lastly, take inspiration from your life and events that you've been through as you go. So that's where a lot of digital products actually come from, but use that, lean into it, make that a part of your story, make it a part of your brand. Let people know that you've gone through this stuff, that you are human, that you're imperfect. That's gonna be a big part of this, regardless of what you sell. Make sure you add some personality into it. So hopefully all of these things give you a good baseline of what you should be doing if you're gonna be creating your own digital product online. Now, there's 3 things that I want you to do right now. If you've had any enjoyment in this video, if you've taken one note, one mental note, one physical note, it doesn't matter. I want you to do 3 things. Number 1, like this video. It's really easy. It's super free. Subscribe to the channel. Also easy, also free. And third, make sure you guys check the links in the description. If you guys are looking for step-by-step help from me that goes through every piece of the sequence, not just behind the scenes, not just this one thing, not just ads, not just that. If you want the whole thing in sequence, laid out for you, all my prompts, all the background, everything. The links are gonna be in the description. So you guys can get access to all of that. You can work with me directly. You guys can get access to do it on your own. Totally up to you, but check the links in the description. Trust me, I get it. I watch YouTube videos all the time. I ignore those links. These ones actually matter. These ones are gonna speed up everything that you're trying to do. So if you enjoyed this video, please do the first 2 for me, like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Stop creating content. No, seriously, stop chasing the likes, the comments, the shares, because vanity metrics don't pay the bills. You're playing a game that you can't win, hoping that one day the algorithm will bless you and you'll finally go viral. But what if I told you that there are entrepreneurs making thousands of dollars a day with literally no audiences? People that you've never heard of and will never see. It's because they're not influencers. They're what we call paid creators. And they know the secret isn't to go viral. It's building a digital business that pays you without having to go viral. That's a real business. Look, I've been in the trenches for years, and I used to believe the same lies. I thought more followers meant more money. But after spending over $1.6 million of my own money on ads, I realized the truth. My business doesn't grow because I get more likes. It grows when I make more offers. And the fastest way to do that is not by starting with a blank page. Here's the problem. The gurus tell you to post consistently and engage your audience, so you spend countless hours writing scripts, filming videos, and designing posts. You get a flood of likes, maybe even a viral video, but at the end of the month, you're still broke. You have no audience, and you don't have a business. So I stopped creating from scratch. Instead, I started using a proven plug-and-play prompt system that gives you epic prompts that build high-converting VSLs, sales pages, ads, you name it. And all you've got to do is teach it what you're selling, and now you're on. This is how you stop being a content creator and start being a business owner who gets paid. You don't need more ideas. You need a framework that turns your knowledge into profit fast, and there has never been a a better time, now that AI is actually good at all of this, to start doing this for your business. If you're done chasing likes and ready to build a business that actually pays you, I want to give you the exact prompts that I use. Hit the link where you see it and see them for yourself. I will lay it all out for you and prove that these actually work and helped me create my business. Stop seeking the influencer status and start building real, profitable businesses. Let's do it.